Hello, I'm just having a Slurpee and rolling a fag, same as normal, because I'm just out of the bath and I'm going out for a massage shortly. Today's the 29th, is it my birthday? It is. 26 I am. Oh, that's too hot to bloody drink. I'm trying to hurry up. Let's calm down, shall we? I thought I would do one, or if not two, of my thoughts, because they're coming in thick and fast still. And if I don't do them, I end up forgetting them really. I noticed last night there was one that I was supposed to have done. I have done it, but I forgot to do it. I was going to do it yesterday afternoon, forgot to do it. I did it in the evening. So, hello. Birthday boy, eh? Thank you. First of all, thank you everybody. Thank you for all your comments, emails. It goes on and on and on really. Phone calls I've had. Loads of people. Thank you. Thank you everybody. I've got three here. I'll take the last one first. Samuel Howell. Now he basically said, because he said a bit more than this, but he said, Bri, what's your thoughts on robots putting people out of jobs? And is there a way to make robots that work to help people be free? No, he said that he's a young guy, he's just getting into that field of work and all the rest of it, but it's a concern of his that building robots will put people out of work. So he says, Bro, your thoughts on robots putting people out of jobs? And is there a way to make robots that work to help people be free? The last bit is a little bit too complex. Is there a way to make robots that work to help people be free? Everything a robot does helps us be free, doesn't it? It frees our time. That's what it does. That's why we have robots. So my thoughts on robots putting people out of jobs. I used to think like that. Samuel Howell, I used to think like that many years ago. But, you know, let's think about it. If you go right the way back, if you went to how people used to travel, which was horse and cart, okay? So the jobs involved in that would have been the wheelwright, the blacksmith, the horse person, vet. You know, whatever. And modern technology suddenly invented the car. So did all those people lose their jobs, or did they go into the car industry? You would have had the horse and cart industry, might have had 1,000 people, 5,000 people up and down the UK, and suddenly you've got this car plant, or plants, with maybe 500,000 people or 1 million people got jobs. So the progress of technology, of robots and what have you, brought more and more people into work. And the wheelwright, perhaps he got a job as a carpenter, or perhaps he went into the car industry, because the car industry then would have had a lot of wood, and particularly Rolls-Royce, they have wooden fascias on their dashboard and things like that, the wooden steering wheels, who knows. So he would have been soaked up somewhere, or perhaps he would have went into making kitchen cabinets, or whatever, or worked in the building trade, something like that. And the blacksmith, it's not a far step, is it, from blacksmithing, I suppose, to welding. So he would have went into the car industry, perhaps, and welded, or maybe worked on ships or whatever. And the vet would have just diversified into farm work and things like that. So, although we had all that, progress and robots made things quicker and better and faster and all the rest of it, but still employed a lot more people. And if you look at the guy who made the penny farthing bike or something, you know, that went out of favour and technology came in, and down the line over the years and what have you, that same guy, in a way, but that same guy is now making, I don't know what they're called, but you stand on them, you lean and they go forward. Or scooters, or skateboards, or whatever the modern technology is now, you know. And robots make all these machines. So somebody's got to program these machines. Somebody's got to design that skateboard. Probably a team of designers. There's probably, if you look at the skateboard, probably somebody's going to spray it or laminate it. Someone is going to do the wheels. Someone's got to work out the couplings or the brakes if they have a brake. Somebody designed that sandpapery effect that you don't fall off. The shape of it, the aerodynamic, they would have had a team involved in that. And then that leads on, you've got skate parks, somebody's got to design that, somebody's got to build it, somebody's got to, you know, design a seating to go around it, or anti-graffiti paint was invented around about that time. So it just goes on and on. One of the things I saw on Facebook a while ago was I never shop in any of the supermarkets. These self-service tills, they're putting people out of jobs. Only go to the tills, people. Only use proper tills with proper people. Otherwise, they ain't got a job. And I thought about that. I thought, yeah, they're right. And then I thought, on the same side as that, don't buy light bulbs because you're putting candle makers out of business. You know? These machines in shops, these self-service tills, they've got to be designed again. They've got to be produced, probably by robots and machines. They've got to be installed. They've got to be, you've got to have them all coloured up because they're very bright and colourful, aren't they? You've got to have all the electronics done in it. You've got to have somebody to maintain them, somebody to look after them. There's always somebody actually in the shop floor that also looks after them, so he's got a job. You know, and then that, it just builds on and on and on to it, really. You know, there's barriers, isn't there? There's security, mini security things with them now. Then there's the scales. Somebody designed the scales and whatever, you know. And then the coin and the note box that comes out. Somebody designed that. Somebody worked on it. Somebody stuck the stickers on to say coins here. So there are still jobs being created. And clearly they're still employing a lot of people on the tills because a lot of people like to go to the tills. I like to go to the tills. I like to have a very quick chat, short chat. I don't like how are you? What are you doing today? I like a human touch. I like a personal touch. So there are robots, and they are taking away jobs in certain sectors. Certain things that we used to make are now made by robots rather than made by hands. But those people just diversify, those people move on, and there's more and more things created. You know, there's a dustbin if you can hear the beeping. These things that you stand on and lean forwards, they weren't about not so long back. So somebody's invented them, some machine is working on them, designed them, produced them, made them, welded them, coloured them, sprayed them, painted them. Same as cars, you know, how many men will it take to spray a car? Now you put it into a booth and a robot goes and it's done. You know, so did that put those painters out of business, or did those painters go into something else? You know, I think if you want to work, you can work in this country. So I don't see there's a lack of jobs, even though we've got a lot of robots. Robots, they are taking over. I mean, a separate issue is AI. I don't like artificial stuff. I think that's going to take away people's minds and thinking. But, you know, if you're talking about robots that build things, which I believe you are, then the second part of your question really is about being free. And I said about time, didn't I? Is there a way to make robots that work to help people be free? Yeah, like I said, you know, everything. You take a busy mum who used to go down Tesco's when they had 10 tills and line up for half an hour with her ice cream dripping on the bloody floor. She can now whiz around there. In fact, she can do it online. She can do it, you know, that's a computer, that's a robot. She can do it online. She can order it online and either have it delivered, or she can whiz down there, pick it up from the delivery thing and come back home. Or if she wants to go and have a quick wander around the store, she can then go to the self-service, bang, 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 and she's back at home. So there is no waiting. So these robots have given her time. You know, she can go and chill maybe for half an hour and then go and pick the kids up. So, yeah, robots are good and robots are bad. Of course they are, you know, and they do take jobs in certain certain ways, but they give a lot as well, really, because if a menial task is taken away, there was, I worked for a council many years ago, and there were some old guys on there just about to retire, and they've worked there all their life, and they said when they were 16, 17, they used to go along the road in the winter and chip the ice between the curb and the road, and they had these special tools to chip it with and then sweep it up, and it used to go into a big bucket and what have you. And there was 20, 30 of them going around this town doing this, and they'd walk around with a sack of salt and a handle, and they'd shake it. Well, all that is now done by just one man. Just one man can put the salt, put the grit down, empty the drains, do whatever. It's just one man. But all those people didn't just suddenly lose their jobs, and I know that because I spoke to them. They went into grass cutting, hedge cutting, looking after the environment. The councils then won contracts for roundabouts, and roundabouts suddenly started to become pretty with flowers on rather than just tarmac. And a lot of these towns win awards by having these huge hanging baskets and these hanging basket towers in the towns and stuff like that. And now these men are sort of qualified gardeners, and some of them left after a few years and they did more study, and now they've got their own business, and they then employ men. So it just has a knock-on effect. I don't see robots affect anything much, really. They may take the menial rubbish tasks that we don't want. The dustmen just walk past. There's 2 of them. When I was a kid, I think there was 6 of them. They had a kick plate and a stand, and they used to ride along on the back of it, and I loved it. I became a dustman for a while, but it wasn't like that. But that's how it was then. Now the health and safety came in and they couldn't do it. But they used to manually walk up and pick your bin up and take it and empty it. I just noticed now they've got a driver and they've got one guy, and one guy puts the handle near to it and presses a button, and it takes the bin up and empties the bin, puts the bin back down and closes the lid. He hasn't got a lot to do at the back, and the driver is just the driver. So that technology never put the drivers out of business. But where are the 6 dustmen? Where are the 5? Because there was 6, now there's 1. Now those 5 would have went into a different business, wouldn't they? Quite clearly, you don't see billions and billions, or millions of people unemployed just because of, when they used to spray cars by hand, that now the robots do it in these car factories. They don't say, okay, we've got a car factory, so we've got, 30,000 people are now unemployed. It doesn't happen. People move on, they retrain, they learn a different way, they start their own business, they do whatever. So I think robots are here to ease our lives, which is a form of freedom when you've got an easier life. And robots give people time, which is giving them freedom. I hope that's made some sense. Anyway, it's just my thoughts, right or wrong, whatever, just my thoughts. Thank you from Samuel Howell. Thank you very much, mate. Take care and be well. Cheers. Ta-ra then.